Hey, everybody, it's the Dynamite Show. Paul Fontaine alongside the returning Jeff Hawkins here on the Fight Game Media YouTube channel, 20 minutes after Dynamite was supposed to end. And and on the Thursday morning free audio feed on the Fight Game Media audio network. I want to thank everybody for supporting us and joining us.
Yes, and thank you everybody for letting me I need to spend a little time with the church family last week. So
yeah, well, I managed, and everyone got a short show, so that was good. And I managed my way through it.
Brevity, the soul of wit, Paul. Always.
At least I had a good show to review last week. This week was fine. I liked last week better, but I mean, I don't know. We'll see when we get to it. There's some stuff I can definitely criticize on the show. Actually, we were talking before the thing, and there's something we want to talk about first. And then there is something else I want to talk about. But okay. I mean, I might even just save it for the show review. We'll see. We'll see how long we talk about this.
Go on.
But for those that don't know, and I'm sure y'all do, Max Jake Friedman, MJF to his friend. Yeah. He got married to I believe it was Alicia Toot.
Yes, I believe it was. Who else was on your list, Paul?
I don't know.
Who else were you? Who else
man.
Were you
John
off?
John wasn't a fan last week. Sorry, John.
Well,
I tried.
Well, F4W is ragging on him. I mean, the man's angry right now.
Yeah, so he got married, and I guess it was on Friday, and they had. And I didn't even realize this, but apparently they had changed the date of the ROH pay-per-view so that Tony Khan could go to the wedding.
Huh.
Which leads into what we wanted to talk about, which was, I guess, a wedding photo got released. And, I mean, I saw it, and I just assumed, oh, okay, you know,
hold on. Let's be fair. It wasn't released.
Right. Okay, sorry. A wedding photo appeared.
Mental wrestling fans went to Facebook looking for wedding photos to then disseminate on the World Wide Web.
Okay, and again, I phrased that wrong. A wedding photo appeared, and MJF was married, and people were pointing out all the different people in the photo, and like you had Tony Khan, who looked like he was addressing the fans at a Dynamite taping, like just the expression on his face, he looked just like he was very happy and excited, but he just didn't look the same as everybody else. And then in the background, you kind of saw Hangman's face look almost like he was trying to, like he wanted to be in the picture, but he didn't want to be in the picture. So it was like you really had to look for him. You almost had to blow up the picture to see him. And I guess word came out that, I guess as you pointed out, people went on to social media, found the picture, posted it, and MJF and Alicia didn't really want those photos out. They put it on their private Facebook, for their own friends. But I guess, if you're a public figure, you have two different Facebooks, and, that's pretty standard. I would say when I first saw the photo, I was like, this is stupid. Like, why would they put this photo out? Like, because I didn't realize, how it got out. I just saw the photo and assumed MJF had posted it. And I thought, well, this is stupid. Like, Hangman's in this picture and they're like mortal enemies. And not only that, like, it's 2025 and it's a different world and blah, blah, blah. But MJF is the one guy that wouldn't do that, in my opinion, like just the way he is. And he wants to keep kayfabe and all that. And then, this picture's out there. And then I guess he was upset about it. So rightfully so.
I don't know if was it he upset or was it the company that was upset? Because I saw reports that was people in the company. And
the people in the company, so there's two different reasons they were upset. They were upset that people went into personal Facebook and grabbed pictures that they weren't supposed to and posted it. But also MJF and Hangman in particular were upset that a picture got out with them, looking like friends.
Okay. So now I have to shift my opinion a little bit because from what the story I read, or at least that I'm misremembering right now, is that there were people in management that were upset that this picture got out because it quote unquote broke kayfabe. And I'm just like, this company breaks the fourth wall more than a game of Warlords on the Atari 2600. Okay. There's an arcade reference for you. I was trying to think of wall bringing, but this company has more inside cutesy wink wink nudge nudge references about how fake pro wrestling is than anybody, and for them to be upset at this, and this just ruins my entire rant about this.
Sorry. How about he breaks the fourth wall more than Chris Farley on a cocaine bender at 12:45 a.m. on an SNL skit?
I try not to trash Chris Farley because I have mutual friends who knew him.
I wasn't trashing him. I was praising him.
Oh, that's well. No, you were just speaking harsh truths.
Yeah.
And I agree. Also, God, the more I see social media and there's now different apps and things like that, the more I respect my friends who never went on them as much as I wanted to keep updates with them and things like that, because you realize just how unhinged people are if you get a modicum of fame or notoriety, or you're on a message board and people don't like you or whatever. It's just
been there.
And it's always the wrestling fans that are the worst for some reason. Not to ascribe it to anybody in the chat or anything like that. Just there's a reason why advertisers go, we don't want to advertise to that demographic sometimes, because the worst fans can be the worst. And it's like, guys, let people have their peace, please. But yeah.
And we will talk about this later, Cyclops, but I'll put your thing up now. We got a super chat from Cyclops. Thank you.
Cyclops.
I wanted less Death Riders, not more. Damn you, Daniel. Yeah, I kind of thought, we're definitely into NWO B team territory at this point.
Are we?
I think so.
Because we already have the Callis family B team. Now we need the Death Riders B team of certain war dogs and
Daniel Garcia and Chris Statlander.
Chris Statlander.
Yeah, I
put Danhausen in there to.
Although I do think the Statlander thing is a ruse. We'll get to that. I think that one is going a different direction. But
so, what was the other story you wanted to talk about?
I'll
tell you whether or not we need to wait for the show or not.
Well, we had a debate on the Discord today.
Oh, that's a mistake.
And it was about the way that the women's title match has been built up at the pay-per-view. So it's a 4-way. It's going to be Toni Storm defending against Tekla, Jamie Hayter, and Chris Statlander. Now, you weren't here last week, but
no.
On the Collision before last week's Dynamite, they did an angle where Tekla and her crew laid out Toni Storm. She posed on top of Toni's limp, lifeless body to close the show. I thought it was a great angle at the end of Collision. And I thought, okay, and Toni had been asking for challengers. She wants someone to step up. She wants one of these bitches in the back to grab by the balls, or however she put it, right? And take this from me. And Tekla did that. And then they did a match on Collision again this week where I don't remember the participants. I think it was an 8-woman all-star tag, whatever. And after the match, I don't even remember who won, and it doesn't matter who won, because Toni says, I asked you bitches, blah, blah, blah. So how about I'm going to defend the title against you and you and you. And she picked random people that Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander had nothing to do with the world title, had not expressed any interest whatsoever, had just teamed up with Toni Storm, I believe. And then Tekla, who was targeting Toni Storm, who did accept her challenge virtually without actually saying those words. And everyone's like, and some people, I shouldn't say not everyone, some people thought it was a lazy way to set up a title match, and it's a match we don't even want to see. And then other people, oh no, it makes perfect sense, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what are you doing?
People are making stories in their head, but yes.
Yeah. Well, no, they're using the stories that are out there. Like they're saying, well, she put out an open challenge and no one accepted it, so she picked the challengers.
That's not how open challenges work.
No, I know. And not only that, but Tekla did more or less accept the open challenge. And then they did an angle tonight that made me want to see a one-on-one even more.
Open challenges are open until they are closed.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You don't get to go, well, since no one has answered my randomness, here's who I'd like to fight right now. Oh, we're gonna get to storytelling, especially in this first segment, because you're gonna set it up, and before we get to the match, I'm gonna rant a little because I'm in the mood to rant.
Well, and to set it up, I mean, well, that was the other one too, and it was I was surprised at how big the debate got, because when they announced this match, the opener, Hangman and Josh Alexander in a grudge match.
Yes.
And someone made the offhanded comment, "Oh, a grudge match. It came out of nowhere or whatever." And then it's like, people, no, like he took out Omega. It makes perfect sense. Blah, blah. Yeah, okay, it does make sense to have a grudge match. I didn't really have a problem, but they didn't really need to call it a grudge match. And
it's for effect. It's just an adjective to put on the match you're putting on there to make it seem more important.
But then how about you actually have a grudge match?
That's what I'm thinking, but yes.
So there's the build. I mean, and and then you've got, and again, I'm sorry, for people that don't watch WWE, but I know a lot of the people in here do. The WWE is building a show right now that people are pretty excited about, and it's happening on the same day. Now, I thought that Saturday's Collision was a great show. They set up a lot of things. Whether or not you're interested in those things is a different issue, but they tried, and they did a lot of stuff, and they put out, and it felt like an important show when I was done watching. It's like I just watched an important show. Almost more than this Dynamite, honestly. But yeah, so like I think they're trying, like they've they're kind of, Toni, right? It's like 2 weeks before a pay-per-view. Oh shoot, I gotta book some matches. So
you say that Dynamite last week got the second lowest rating in its history, right?
So the lowest ever on a Wednesday. The only other time it was lower was when they got moved to Tuesday and went head to head with NXT.
Well, Paul, if you would allow me a moment.
Yeah, go for it.
Look, my gimmick on this show is that I pretty much stick to the same 5 or 6 points I always have about professional wrestling, and I view things through that lens. And I've listened to one David Meltzer, and I like David Meltzer a lot. But there seems to be some sort of consternation about what is going on with the ratings on this show. And Dave is on the Pequod right now, hunting his white whale of the Netflix ratings and how they lie and whatnot. Probably, as I like to think, it's somewhat of the equal and opposite reaction of the low AEW ratings. He wants to prove that the ratings on WWE is false. I'm fine with that. Let him have his fun. But I'm here to posit to you, Paul Fontaine, the reason that most people, not the people that are necessarily in our chat, watch wrestling, not for the wrestling. They watch for angles. They watch for heat. They watch for things that matter on a week-to-week basis. Pay-per-views, totally different. Pay-per-views, they want to see it. They want to see the work that has been built paid off. And I'm fine with that too. And I'm fine with people wanting to watch for good matches. I'm good with that. Doesn't necessarily get me off. Gets you off. Great. Do your thing. That said, I almost, how do I put this? I almost put my fist through a wall watching this first segment, because wrestling can be very easy in terms of storytelling. I am a storyteller formerly, used to get paid for such things, used to script doctor a lot, mostly. Before I decided I needed to actually have a retirement fund.
And not professional wrestling, I should point out.
Not professional wrestling.
But real television.
Yes, actual movies, features, and television. Yeah. Yes, right. Yes, yeah. I did. I did interview with WWE, but they passed.
And it works both ways. Is what I'm saying. Like so.
Yes, that's no, storytelling is easy, and they have people who know storytelling back there. So don't get me wrong. Yeah. So as you said, we have a grudge match here. We could have heard why Kenny Omega matters to Hangman Page and why this would be set up, but we didn't, and that's fine, because there's more stuff in here we could use. Now, humor me, people in the chat and people listening at home. We had a recap video, always a good thing on AEW, of Hangman Page being brainbustered through a table. Paul, was Hangman showing any effects of being brainbustered through a table?
No.
Paul,
I skipped the recap video. Did they show Kenny being stretchered out in that recap video?
I do not recall, but I don't believe they may have. I think they did.
Okay.
Someone in the chat can remind me. I think it was mostly concentrating on the brainbuster through the table.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this evil diabolically family does this in service of getting one of its own, possibly an edge in winning the world title, your big major title. We could have had also a promo backstage of this masterful heel group, you know, twirling mustaches and rubbing hands and stuff like that, and saying, you know what, we know that Hangman Page is wounded, and Hangman, we're coming after your neck, and one of us is going to get it. And it may not be Kyle before the world title match, but one of us is getting it, and we're putting you out of wrestling, out of this kayfabe world.
Mm-hmm. Like we've done to, and then
like we've done to Kenny Omega. We put him out. We're going to put you out too.
Like we did to Will Ospreay. Oh, wait, darn it. It was the Death Riders that did that.
Like we did to Swerve.
Oh,
wait, Wardlow's not around maybe, but nevertheless.
Well, they can just say Okada did it.
Well, he can be there for the promo and say he did it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he tore his pec. He doesn't need to work. He can just be there in a suit. Brother looks good in a suit. I like it.
Brother looks very good in a suit.
Yes.
And besides that, it was the family that did it. One guy does it, they all did it.
Yes. We are building up this as a villainous group. Maybe Takeshita's making a face like he's not all the way on board on this, as a little Easter egg or whatnot. And then we go into this match, grudge match, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Josh Alexander starts working on Hangman's neck from the brainbuster he put through the table, and maybe Hangman reverses course, and because Josh Alexander wears headgear, as my partner on Shake the Rope says, helmet guy, and maybe he starts working on the wounded head of Josh Alexander, turns those tables, and overcomes it in service of building this match with Kyle Fletcher. But no, we get hockey punches to start and then wrestling.
Yeah, they just had a match. I mean, it was a good match, I guess.
It was a fine match.
Yeah.
But these are the details where I know, look, this is anecdotal evidence, but even in my own head, I check out. Because I'm just like, oh, they're just going to have a good match here. It'll be fine. I'm not going to be talking about the technical aspects of professional wrestling on this. I'm here to do story and make bad jokes. I know what my role is in such things.
Who's the number one guy in the Callis family?
Kyle Fletcher.
Okay, who's number 2?
Okada.
Who's number 3?
Takeshita.
Okay, we got a long way to go before we get to Josh Alexander. Is my point.
Oh, Larry, Curly, Shep, Curly Joe.
Here's a thought. You had this big, huge promo segment planned between Fletcher and Hangman after the match, right? Which was great, by the way. I enjoyed the promo segment. I'll recap it in a bit. Maybe Hangman just mows through Josh Alexander.
Yes,
because he's the world champion, and this is angry. Like the 4th guy at best in the Don Callis family, and he's pissed. Mm-hmm. And then the guys jump him after the match. He makes a save. Maybe some other people make a save and get rid of some of the Callis family. It ends up just Callis or Fletcher and Hangman in there. But no, they had to have a match because you know why? Because people were complaining that Josh Alexander was losing too much. So he's got to look great. So he took 70% of this match. And and you talked about working the neck. Yeah, it was Hangman that actually worked the neck.
He did after a while, but they never said it. And they
well, Callis brought it up that Josh Alexander had
it was another it was a tell don't show thing kind of thing on commentary, and the commentary needs to work with this too. It's one of those things where they tell us these stories on commentary and they never show it to us in the work, and it drives me nuts. I know there are a couple people within AEW that always DM me after the show and talk, you had good points. Did you have to phrase it that way? Or sometimes they agree with me, sometimes they don't. And I'm fine with all this. It's just one of these things where it's like, all right, let's start what we're trying to get together here, and let's put all the pieces together, and let's this is television, and I know that Tony likes his bangers and he wants this to be a sports-like presentation, but most sports, the narratives are all media driven because they're not actually playing the game.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And it's just okay. Whatever. I mean, the match was fine. I like Josh.
I didn't write down much about the match. Like, they were back and forth. You know, he took a lot of it. Then eventually Callis distracted the ref. Then Archer got involved in Rocky. Hangman got rid of both of them on his own, and then he hit the buckshot for the win. So the whole match was like Alexander, you know, like being 50-50 with him. And then at the end, like, Hangman just beat 3 guys by himself. So it's like, you could have just cut out all that 10 minutes and wasted
cut out
my
the middle,
life.
man.
And just get to the point. Yeah. But and the crowd wasn't terribly into it. It didn't seem like this crowd all night. Okay, I'm not going to say they were dead, because they weren't dead, but they weren't reacting to the matches. They were doing what everyone complained about the WWE Europe crowds for doing. They're doing their own chants that have nothing to do with what's going on, and they're picking up on things that they weren't supposed to pick up on. And it was distracting at times, but at least they're hot. So they're doing
their own stories to keep themselves entertained while the match is going on, because they know the end of the match, and they're waiting for something to excite them to get involved in this match.
Yeah.
Or they're playing their part. Hey, this is awesome. Clap, 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 clap after a thing, or doing applauses when both guys are down.
Or, you know, Josh hits a move and they chant, "You still suck," and, you know, whatever. Yeah. So Hangman wins.
By the way, let me pause you for a second.
Sure.
The chat doing the ranking of the Callis family.
Yep.
Is killing. Hechicero needs to be up there, guys.
Oh shit! I forgot about Hechicero. Oh, he's above Wardlow. He's 4.
Yeah.
Like, we got Josh down to 7 now. I mean, he is ahead of Rocky.
He's ahead of Trent. He's ahead of.
He's probably ahead of Mark Davis.
Yeah.
I would say he's probably ahead of Lance too, but, you know, if you want to tell me Lance is ahead, they're pretty close to the same level. So Hangman gets a mic, and he says, "I did not spill a goblet of my blood to win this championship to have someone like MJF change something, the match stipulation midway through, or to have every single opponent have some phallus-headed dumbass like Dom Callis with them. The most important word in all elite wrestling is wrestling." Actually, I thought it was elite, but and that's what I'm here to do. I am the all elite.
All is the most important word.
Oh, all okay. I am the all elite wrestling men's world champion. And then we hear Proto Star, and Kyle's out with Don Callis, and he looks great. He's got a suit and a mic.
He looks fantastic.
He looks like the champion.
I wish they wouldn't geek him out with the shoes and no socks look.
No, that's what the cool people do, dude. Like Ricky Starks does this.
No, people do this. People do this with expensive suits and expensive shoes.
Yeah,
and it's gross. Wear some socks.
We'll get to the socks. So he says, "You know what, Hangman? That's a very lovely sentiment, but it doesn't matter." This is what Jeff was just saying. The wrestling doesn't matter. Once you hold that title, the Don Callis family runs AEW. The Protostar runs AEW. But there's a more important matter at hand. This past Saturday, I threw out a proposal to you, and I'm yet to hear a response. So please, I'm all ears. What have you got to say to my challenge, Hangman? And he says, "Well, first of all, Kyle, if you're all ears, you're lucky that I don't have you fight it out of this bitch for what you did last week." It'd be nice if they had showed us what he did last week. Then we got Cowboy Shit Chance. But Kyle, I understand it. I understand it because I've done it before. You want to make a point and speak to the world champion, then get your ass in the ring, look me in the eyes, and do it. Kyle's trying to convince him not to, but Kyle's like, "No, I'm good. So he gets in. He says, "All right, Hangman, I'm here. What do you got to say to me?" And before Hangman can respond, the fans chant, "Where's your socks?" And he says, "Kyle, do you know what I need? I see when I look at you, I see a man full of potential, but he can't put on his socks." Like, I'm sure that wasn't in his script, but I do. I look at you and I see someone who has everything that it takes to be successful. You're built like a brick shithouse. You can talk, you're fast, you're strong. When I look at you, I see something above all else, Kyle. I want you to hear me. When I see you, I look at myself 6 years ago, standing across from Chris Jericho. Interesting, they mentioned his name. Hoping to be a world champion. After what you did last week, I have no problem saying this. You are not ready to fulfill your potential as you think you are. And then he says, I've heard this my entire career. Fans are chanting, you're not ready. And it's a dueling chant. Yes, he is. Believe me, I've heard it my whole life. I'm 26 years old. I've not reached my prime yet, but my prime is right now. Pick a lane. And I will continue as long as I damn well please. I'm ready to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders, carry this company, and be a world champion right now. Well, Kyle, I'll level with you. If you want this, if you truly want this, if you want to be world champion, to be a world champion, to carry this company for decades, and I will give you a shot at this championship at All Out. But as much as you want this, there's something I want from you, something I need from you, what we all need from you. And he pauses like an idiot, and the fans chant sucks. and then Kyle says, don't listen to these idiots. And he says, Kyle, what I need to do is do it for yourself. I need you to earn it. I need you to face me at All Out and leave the Don Callis family behind you. Leave Don Callis back there and find some socks. So, Kyle, what do you say? Hangman, Protostar, the World Championship at All Out. And Kyle says, you know what the funny thing is, Hangman? You think that makes a difference? You think I need anyone to beat you? You have my word. At All Out, it's man on man, but make no mistakes. I'm leaving with the AEW Men's World Championship. I will not fail like you did 6 years ago, like you have 1,000 times over. At All Out, you will say my full name. The AEW and TNT and new AEW World Champion, the Protostar, Kyle Fletcher. And he literally drops the mic. So I liked the promo segment, although the socks thing kind of derailed it a little bit.
I liked it. I'm going to posit. So I guess I'm in a mood tonight. I don't know, but okay. let me posit this. It was the wrong promo.
Okay.
This might be the promo for next week. Necessarily, we just finished a grudge match. I need I'm gonna beat your ass. No, I'm gonna kick your ass. I don't need I want the title to carry the company and have the corner office and be the world champion type of thing. I hate that.
Yeah, the meta. You're consistent on this one.
make it personal between the two of them. And then next week, once it's personal, take it up that step and go and do the Obi-Wan Kenobi, I see the good in you, Darth Vader bullshit that he's doing in this. Or it's like, he's trying to sow dissension in Don Callis family. No, I want Kyle Fletcher to be cocksure and arrogant and just play the one-note samba here. And you're going to say my name. I'm going to take that belt. I'm going to get all the money. I'm going to have all the prestige of the AEW World Championship. Not, I'm going to represent this company by having this title. No, that's not kayfabe stuff. That's fourth wall breaking stuff. Stop it.
You know what? Another problem.
Stop it. And I want Hangman Adam Page, rage monkey that he is.
Yeah.
He was the rage monkey coming into the match, bell rings, loses the rage monkey.
Yeah.
After belt. Don't get me wrong. Building up Kyle Fletcher as a legitimate contender, saying, you're a great competitor and stuff like that. That's good. Saying you're not ready, kind of. Saying I'm going to beat the crap out of you for doing what you did to Kenny Omega, probably better. Yes. That's what I want in wrestling. I don't want talent evaluations as promos, Paul.
There's another issue here. They set up a stip where Hangman said, "Leave your boys in the back," and Kyle said, "Okay, I'll do that. I'm a man of my word."
Yep, he's going to leave his boys in the back, and it's going to be Megan Bain joining the count.
No. Later on tonight, we got Ricochet and MVP, Ricochet and Shelton Benjamin both agreeing to leave their people in the back. And Ricochet didn't leave his people in the back. They came out and interfered in the match. Yes. So if Hangman believes him, he's a dumbass. And if Kyle Fletcher doesn't do what Ricochet did, he's a dumbass.
Yes.
I don't care about the stip because they broke the stip on the same show, and there was no need to.
Exactly.
When they did that stip, I assumed it was to cover for the fact that MVP probably wasn't even there. But no, that wasn't it because he was there. So why'd they even bother with that stupid stip when they did it in the main event storyline? That was a big continuity issue.
All right, you dastardly heel who put me with a brain buster through a table. Now I want your word as a man that you've got
my word. You've got my word, Hangman.
Let's shake on it. The left-handed shake. And the
Don Callis too. Don Callis gave his word. Yeah, that's a trustworthy guy right there. So yeah.
Don't make your good guys out to be morons. That's all we ask.
And you know what the stupid thing is they probably will have a match where nobody interferes. Like, because
you know what it is? It's the old Rick Moranis line from Spaceballs. Because evil will always triumph over good. Because good is dumb.
Fernando thinks Fletcher will be the world champion of Forbidden Door next year. I mean, I would love to see it. I think it's probably going to go Hangman, MJF, would be my guess. But
he's the closest thing to a Ric Flair type champion that company has.
Or The Rock in like when he, when he first was champion, like that Rock, like the corporate Rock.
Corporate Rock. I was thinking goofy $30,000 shirt.
No, corporate Rock.
Okay.
We got a video package from Mark Briscoe and Takeshita main event on Saturday. And like I predicted, Takeshita won that match. So Briscoe did not get his TNT title match. And then we got an MJF promo that was taped at Collision because MJF is actually in my hometown right now filming a movie. That's why he wasn't on Dynamite. Yeah. I sent him.
Is that the one that they announced today that he was in, or did he book something else?
I can't remember the title.
Right,
but
it was an action movie of some sort.
It's probably not a huge part because I think he's only here for a couple days.
That's fine.
I did send him a restaurant recommendation and he thanked me, so that was cool. So he says, Mark Briscoe, you want to know how much I hate you? Yesterday was my wedding, and after I woke up in the morning and I made a beeline dash to the front door of my house, and my wife says, "Where are you going?" And I said, where are you going? We got a honeymoon. And I said, no toots. The honeymoon can't start until Mark Briscoe is dead. So as I started twisting that doorknob, she said, if you leave right now, we're done. And I said, you silly little bitch. I was married before I met you. I'm married to the game. He really is married to Triple H. I'm married to vengeance. I am married to ending you, Mark. And I'm going to do it with a smile on my face. So at Collision, I'm going to walk down that aisle. And I don't care what your stupid stipulation is. I'll give you the same answer I gave on my wedding night. I do. By God, I do. And that was that heroic babyface promo from MJF here.
I enjoy MJF's penchant for comedic purposes, burying his significant other in promos. I do. It's one of those things.
I guess they're split up now because he left.
Well,
in canon,
there are jokes I will make, and I will not make them right now. Mazel, good things. Congratulations to the happy couple. Look, MJF is always must watch until he hits that joke that hits a sour note, and you're kind of like going, okay, let's get to the rest of this promo and get out of here. But I enjoyed this. This is fine, and this has more heat than that opening segment. That was my problem with it. Also, it's like this. I shouldn't be more jazzed for this than I should be the world title feud. Even though the world title feud is going to be a good match, it's not as good of a feud. That's my problem.
This is probably the match I'm most invested in on the pay-per-view. I would say. I don't know if it'll be the best match. It might be, but it's the match that I care about the most.
I'm hoping Toni buys the rights for Give Me Back My Bullets for just one show for Mark Briscoe.
What I don't know that one. What is that?
It's Leonard Skinner. It was the original. It was the Briscoe brothers' original theme before rights fees and whatnot, and ROH getting on television.
I always miss that. Reach for the sky, boys. Or is that the one he uses now? I don't know.
That's the one he uses now.
Oh, okay. I fast forwarded, so I never heard it anyways. Earlier today, Renee was backstage, and huge news. Toni announced a $500,000 10-man tag match. Okay, this thing. I'm trying to follow canon here, and the whole storyline has been, and they actually have done this on TV. It may be Collision, but the whole idea with these prize matches is the money is supposed to be coming out of the Bucks' pay. And in fact, the Bucks are supposed to actually be paying the people that win. Because there was one thing where Chris Statlander had won a match and she didn't get her money. So John Moxley went into the Bucks dressing room and got it for her.
Yeah, and then she shredded it, right? For the confetti.
Oh, I don't know. Probably.
I remember that. Promo,
but anyways, so here the Bucks are in a match to win their own money, apparently. But they're in catering and they're getting their plates of food. And she says,
"Do you not understand the pay window, baby? You are always fighting for your own money."
She says, "You guys look like you can use the money. So what are you going to do with it?" And Matt says, "Well, I'll tell you one thing. I won't be here eating this crappy food. I'm going to use DoorDash and get some Morton Steakhouse." And then Nick says he's going to double his money on slot machines. A solid plan from these idiots. And then they go to sit down and they find the Dark Order and they're like, "Hey guys, it's been a while." And John Silver says, "No, these seats are taken. Sorry, buddies." So they leave. They find Brandon Cutler and he says, "Oh, finally someone who loves us." And Brandon Cutler, of all people, says, "I should have said this a long time ago to you guys. Shut up, Young Bucks." And Nick's all frustrated. And this is all fine and dandy, but I know damn well the next time I see Brandon Cutler, he's probably going to be like washing their backs or something. You know what I mean? Like we see Brandon Cutler.
Lest we forget, the Bucks left Brandon Cutler there to die at the hands of the Death Riders.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like whenever we see Brandon Cutler, there's no continuity. So I mean, I guess there was this time, but anyway,
Pai Gow Curry had not Omaha High-Low split.
So anyways, Moxley, of all people, shows up in catering, and a bunch of people take off because they're scared of him. And he says, "Nothing has changed. You are Matt and Nick Jackson, the best damn tag team in the world. This is the 2300 arena. We're in this match, so I got a deal for you. We win this match, you guys get 250 grand a piece. Show up to win." And then they're like, "Oh, really?" So here I'm listening to this, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, they get 250 and the Death Riders get 250, which is a pretty good split. But no, the thing is they're going to get the whole 500 grand between the two of them, which is,
I liked this. I actually liked that they actually did some kind of storytelling with these
around the money
star matches.
You know why? Because it's Moxley. Because Moxley doesn't do stupid. Well, except for the main event, but we'll get to that. And whatever the hell he's doing.
You sure you want to die on that hill, Paul?
No, but okay. No, but this made sense and it was good. Now I did like it, although I wasn't at first. It took me a second to figure out what Moxley even said, but yeah. But the whole lead up to it was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once Moxley showed up, shit went down. Curry agrees. Makes sense, like you said.
All the geeks just run.
It's
like that scene in Animal House when you saw the Dark Order and Blake Christian and
I was looking at some of the names. Christian and Johnson were there just their food.
You know when
I saw Action and Andretti.
When they're doing opening pledge night, they don't want the pledge, so they send them to that couch of the foreign exchange students and whatnot. Hey, you know these guys, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think these were all like stagehands that were all afraid of Mox. But
no, they were working security. We'll get to that in a moment.
Oh yeah. Then we got the match you had been looking forward to, and I have a feeling you might have been disappointed.
I was very disappointed.
Yeah. Mercedes and Emi Sakura versus Riho and Alex Windsor. So this was set up on Collision. And I really had not much to say here. Like the baby faces were double teaming and some of it worked, some of it didn't. Emi did almost nothing. Unfortunately, and she's
Emi was there to yell and make broad facial expressions, and while I enjoyed it, there was a lot of disjointedness in this match.
Yeah, and like she didn't get to do her hitting, and she didn't get to do her stuff that usually gets the crowd into the matches.
Yes, and again we had one of these commentary tells the story instead of the show telling us the story about Emi taught Riho, which most of us already know, but we could have watched her being recruited by the CEO. No, we announced it for Twitter or whatever.
They did show a video package on Saturday showing like a lot of old footage of like them training together and matches they were in, and it was really good. They probably could have aired it here instead of 10 minutes of that Hangman match that we didn't need. one of the main meat of this match though was funny because it was the two baby faces double teaming Mercedes and Mercedes fighting back, trying to get the hot tag to her heel partner, which was weird. But eventually the finish came when Riho put on a Canadian Maple Leaf, the one whatever, like the one-legged Boston Crab on Emmy, and Alex Windsor had the sharpshooter on Mercedes in the ropes, so she couldn't break it up, and then Emmy tapped out. And this match was not great.
Yet still not the worst women's match on this show.
Okay, I wasn't sure how you were going to feel about that other match because you usually love those hardcore matches, but we'll get to it.
I
actually gave the hardcore match a slightly higher rating, but I mean, I was prepared to give it like 0. Like there was a bit of a story in that match, so I kind of I gave it a little bit.
I mean, the matches weren't the most angering thing, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Okay. That was we'll get to it. Then we got Renee in the parking lot, and I'm so freaking glad we're out of this building because these parking lot promos look so low rent. Like, as bad as the building looks, which, I mean, it reminds you of like Saturday Morning Wrestling, which, I mean, it's fine. Like, it brings back nice memories, but it's also not what we should be seeing on cable television on prime time during the week when WWE is doing 15,000 seat sold out buildings.
Let's go all the way if we're going to do these ECW tribute things. Just get to the stairwell, get the weird camera angles and thing.
The building is literally low rent. Okay, John, you got me there.
Man, that might be the best comment in the history of this show, to be honest with you.
Certainly from
Curriad. No, he's on one. I mean, he's got his fastball working. But, I mean, you watch I mean, God, if we could have gotten the Miserlou Pulp Fiction promos or whatnot, if we're let's go all the way with it. But, I mean, at least, when ECW would do promos, they'd location scout at least a little bit and then do some guerrilla filmmaking because they would never pay for permits or whatnot.
Weren't they cutting them in his mom's basement or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, they were all okay, we're going to put the gangsters here in this stairwell because there's a light bulb up here, and we're going to have New Jack cut his promo while Mustafa's laughing.
I think they even did them out in the streets. They would do them in the streets of Philly. Like, that would be cool. But
you have all day to do these.
They're just in the parking lot, and it just, like I said, it looks so cheap. But anyways, she's with Ricochet and Gates of Agony. She says, next week you take on Hurt Syndicate, and Ricochet says, Renee, stop. MVP, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, you guys are cowards, and you like to play the numbers game. Well, tonight I'm going to tell my guys to stay in the back, and I'll ask you to do the same. So man on man, just you and me, Shelton Benjamin. The two of us will have. And then she says, and then after I beat you, the three of us will have all the momentum. We'll embarrass you in Toronto one more time, and you will have no choice to respect us, because that's a demand. Ha ha! And that was that. So, yeah.
They didn't even get the most interesting guy on the stick. I mean, they had it last week.
Bishop or Toa?
I think it was Toa last week. But, I mean, they're both coming in their own.
Toa's getting over. Toa. Then we got a video package, and it was Renee narrating, and it was FTR versus Edge and Christian, and it was like stats. So it was like their version of like the WWE Royal Rumble.
The music, I guess, was the hockey music from TNT.
Okay. It was okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, it was the Hockey Night in Canada music. I knew it.
Hockey Night in
Canada. Figure out what it was. How did they get the rights to that? Because Sportsnet owns it.
The answer to your question is money.
I don't think Sportsnet is selling it.
No,
or do they do it in the States?
No, you go to
in the States.
They have their own theme, but you can go to ASCAP, pay the fee, and do it.
Oh, okay, all right. I don't know why they would. Oh, I guess because they're in Canada.
Yes, it's a Canadian themed show, and it's about fighting. So hockey means fighting.
Oh, you know what? I think TSN actually owns it. Okay. And it airs in TSN here, so they probably had something to do with why they were allowed to use it. So
perfect.
Yeah, because they purchased the rights to Hockey Night in Canada years and years ago.
We have already explained this way too much. Let's go.
All right. So the stats. FTR has 70 AEW wins over 59 different teams. And then she said they have 102 total wins. So I guess like that counts singles and trios and whatnot. And Adam Copeland and Christian are 7-time World Tag Team Champions. And they show a picture of them holding these World Tag Team titles, which I don't believe are the AEW World Tag Team titles. And they certainly didn't look like they have looked since they've been in AEW. I'm pretty sure these were WWE titles. They're both two-time TNT champs. They have a combined 18 world championships. Again, I don't believe any of those are in AEW. And they've won 58 combined titles and also one Emmy nomination. And then they cut off mid-sentence. So it's like it was a decent video package with not the greatest production.
And then Stokely comes out and cuts a fantastic promo.
I got the Stokely promo. So, okay, I'll go right into the Stokely because there's nothing to say about the video package. Stokely says that video package was bullshit. What happens in Toronto is not going to be
I popped madly just for that first line. I go, here we go, baby. Yeah. You got me. You hooked me and you got me on.
He was on one.
Let's go. Yes.
So he says what happens in Toronto is not going to be a dream match. What happens in Toronto is going to be a fight. A fight that has the greatest tag team in the world or a fight that the greatest tag team in the world is going to win. But you know what's crazy? Every single week I hear the same thing. Shut up, Stokely. You don't get any hoes, Stokely. Well, guess what? I look around this ring and I see a bunch of extras from Roseanne. So guess what, twins? No one in this bitch is getting any hoes. I hate this place. And then Dax says, Cope and Christian, this could have been a dream match. It should have been a dream match. I noted that they're getting a ton of heat for this. And you know what? Earlier I said MJF and Briscoe. I think actually this match has, they've done a really good job building this match. And then Dax, are you going to let me talk? And he says, you all want to fight so bad. I dare someone. Please, come on. And he gets out of the ring and he challenges this dude in the crowd, finds out that his name is Ian. And he says, I'll throw you into the damn wall, Ian. Who else wants to fight? He's calling everyone bitches. He says, you all think you want something? And he puts down the mic and he gets in some other dude's face. Cash and Stokely join him. I figured this guy was a worker and they're going to pull him out of the crowd, but they didn't.
That's right, I too.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he was a fan because they didn't actually ever touch him. And then
they knocked it might be that FedEx guy from last week. The one.
No, Adam Priest. No, we'll get to him.
Was that FedEx? No, I'm thinking the black guy who was in the FedEx jacket who knew Daniel Garcia.
No, because this guy was white, so it wasn't.
A couple weeks. Yeah.
So Cash accidentally knocked down a camera guy, and the camera's on the floor shooting all this, and then they start beating up camera guys. A bunch of refs came out. Brian Danielson said this was very unprofessional, and Taz agreed with him. And that was that. This segment got a ton of heat, and fans at least these Philly fans are really into this match, and I'm sure the fans in Toronto are going to be as well. They've done a really good job building this up, honestly. Wow.
Yeah.
The backstory and FTR confronting the fan in the aisle is a Twitter anti-AEW troll that Dax blocked. Wow.
I think the heel part of this crew has done a really good job building this up. I've been less than impressed with the Cope and Christian part of the build.
Okay, fair enough. Well, the thing is, I don't really care about the two of them teaming up again, but I do kind of want to see this match just because I like it when angles like this get a lot of heat, and everything FTR has done has gotten tons of heat. For whatever reason, like
they're really good at being heels, and what they're doing a lot of times is working on, especially there's that facet of AEW fandom that is kind of tired of talking about how great of a tag team FTR are.
Yeah, these guys are getting Josh Briggs heat.
Yes,
if you watch NXT, you get that reference. Right, where are we here? Renee. She's with Hurt Syndicate. Said earlier today, I spoke with Ricochet and Gates Agony, and Ricochet issued a gentleman's agreement. So do you guys accept the challenge? And MVP says, we are gentlemen. Shelton says, I got this. He says, if you can be trusted to leave your boys in the back, I'll leave mine in the back, and then I'll put your goofy ass on your back. And he leaves. It was a good little 10-second promo from Shelton. And MVP says, always a pleasure, Renee.
There are two things I really liked about this. Number one, I liked both the looks of MVP and Bobby Lashley when he said that I'll put you on your back. They kind of gave him like a little bit of a nod. And I do like I do like the tone shift of MVP as a manager when he's just whether he's a heel or a babyface, he just comes out and he's very respectful to the person interviewing him. I've always kind of like that gentleman villain type thing.
And I think Shelton really did that with her last week too.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Like Renee, like just okay, cool, I like this. As opposed to MJF, who would probably call her toots and tell her, I don't know, make some rude comments.
Where's your husband, Mox?
Yeah. So then we got Ricochet and Shelton Benjamin, and right away Bryan Danielson, he's hanging out with Tony Schiavone too much because he called them two of the greatest athletes in the history of professional wrestling. I mean, they're good athletes, but it's a little much. And they had a good match. I enjoyed it. They something here where Ricochet hit a 450 and went for a pin, and he didn't get it, and Shelton got pissed, and the camera focused on his face, and then the fans chanted, "You fucked up," and that was cool. Then they were chanting, "We hurt people, fuck them up, Shelton." They went through a break, they came back, and now they're chanting, "We bald people, we bald people." And Shelton did Suplex City. I think he hit like 7 Germans in a row. And amazingly, the fans didn't chant Suplex City. I was shocked. They did chant AEW. And then Shelton hit a roundhouse. Ricochet hit a top rope Spanish fly. A few fans, like 8, chanted, "This is awesome." And then half the arena chanted "Bald forever." Ricochet grabbed his scissors. He tried to hit Shelton with them, but Shelton took his head off with a clothesline, grabbed the scissors. Ref's trying to get him to stop, and Shelton rips the scissors in half, threw them away. And this is when the Gates of Agony came out. Toa headbutted Shelton, and Ricochet rolled him up for the pin. And that was that. So Ricochet, not a man of his word.
What? Yeah. I really liked the first beat of this match, where it's just Shelton bodying Ricochet, including throwing him into Bryce on the one count of the pin. I really liked that. We bald people, a little too clever by half for me, guys. You need to stop that. There was something I forgot that you mentioned within that match that I was going to bring up that I was like, okay, that's fine. The only other thing that I had that I can remember offhand, because the other thing probably wasn't that important. When you said you were expecting a Suplex City chant. I number 1, it's Brock. Number 2, it's WWE. Number 3, I think while the Venn diagram knows a lot, they may not know about the Shelton Brock connection necessarily.
Okay,
it might be past their time. It's 20 years old.
I was hoping they'd put the tweet up, but they didn't.
But that tag team was awesome, by the way.
Because at one point, I think it was Danielson that pointed out that Shelton was one of the best athletes in the history of University of Minnesota, and then one of the other commentators said, "Yeah, that program has had a lot of great wrestlers."
Yes.
Yeah.
Gable Stevenson. No.
He's probably just as bad as Brock. Maybe worse.
Probably. Yeah. My new rule now for wrestling companies. And I appreciate young, up-and-coming trainees getting the opportunity to be extras on television. You need to be more realistic with the selection of security. I do not want 5'7", 150-pound, green-haired shindy guys as your security. I want to believe that these are actual people who were hired to take care of a problem should a problem arise, such as at a concert or whatnot. I'm watching them try to break up this fight, and I go, no.
Can I do a sidebar for a second? When you talk about security and indie guys and everything, did you catch that? It was on NXT, and it was a Dark State promo of all people. They showed footage of these guys as security guards and said, "We did whatever we could to get into this business. We took jobs as security guards." And they showed them. I thought that was so brilliant, because we see this all the time with like security guards and stuff, and they used it for like to help build a character. I really thought that was great. I can't see any of these guys ever be on TV.
I guess my problem with that is I'd have to remain consistent and go, I don't like that fourth wall break of you hire wrestlers who are local, but I guess you can make it kayfabe and do that. So
you hired them first as security guards, and then they became wrestlers.
Yeah, I was just thinking that point out. We can continue.
All right. So MVP came out after the match because he is a man of his word, and then he started a brawl with Bishop Khan. Lashley and Toe were brawling. Shelton took out Ricochet with a super kick.
MVP had an amazing monkey flip here.
Yeah. I think he's taking the pin on the 20th.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely he should take the pin.
Ref is calling for help, and no one's coming. And then finally, a bunch of dudes run out, and like you said, like all shapes and sizes. There's one guy, this big, huge black jack dude that was way bigger than Bobby Lashley I saw out there. I think. Unless
that's the guy that I kept thinking was Hobbs, but he's been around like the past few weeks around there as the extra guy.
Massive.
Yes.
So maybe he is going to be somebody. But anyways, they're all brawling, and the fans are chanting, "Let them brawl," which I've never heard that one, actually. I've heard "Let them fight," but never "Let them brawl." And they eventually brawled to the back. And so it was a nice little segment. Again, they're doing a decent job with this one too.
It's fine.
Yeah. Then we got a video package. Oh, it was a taped interview. It was Hook, and he's on the roof of a building somewhere. And he says, "Look, I've always respected Samoa Joe. I appreciate everything he's done for me. I appreciate that the Opps always have my back. They respected me, they replaced me before my body was cold for the Trios Championship. But Joe explained it. I get it. I'm an athlete. I know how it works. You're out hurt. It's next man up. So I appreciate they always have my back, but I think it's time for Hook to stand on his own. Or maybe not. So I guess Hook is going to get his own stable. God help us.
The intrigue is killing me. No, I don't.
Jack Perry. Like
this
kill switch.
This story was ruined when they brought him back the way they did, and now they're trying
Which
to
time?
retcon
the time he randomly did a run-in on a pay-per-view, hit somebody, and then left? Or the time he made a save and stood in the aisle and did nothing while the Opps ran past him?
No, the time they put his H on the wall of the 2300 arena, and he walked around the ring twice, hoping for the Hook chant that never came. That's the one that I love still.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised they didn't chant Taz at him. Yeah, so we're clearly getting a Hook faction, and I don't think anybody is. Maybe he'll be in the Death Riders B team.
God. Well, who else needs a B team right now?
Ricochet's crew.
Oh, there we go.
Ricochet and crew, or Hook and crew. Oh, there's a team. Hook and crew.
The people we originally thought were gonna. He's gonna wear the jacket with the spikes. Okay. I'm here for this.
Hook and crew. Here we go. Back to the parking lot, and this time it's Tony Schiavone with Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis. And he's got breaking news that they announced an hour ago. It's for the AEW World title. It'll be Kyle Fletcher and the AEW World Champion Hangman Page at Toronto. And he's agreed to live the Don Callis family in the back. And Don Callis says, "I've never seen an athlete like this, 6'4", 240 pounds, jacked to the gills, talks like nothing else." I don't know what that has to do with wrestling, and he doesn't need anyone out there. So when you look like him, talk like him, and wrestle like him, he's going to bring that title home to the family. And Kyle says, "Less than 2 weeks away, the Don Callis family will have their hands on that AEW World Championship once again. Trust me on this. I'm bringing it home." So a nice little short, sweet promo.
I enjoyed it. Yes.
Yeah. It was exactly what it needed to be. Then we got Toni Storm and Skye Blue in a Philly street fight, which, again, I watched Collision. I loved Collision. It was great. I don't recall this match being announced. Then John LaRocca mentioned it on Twitter in a response to you saying how much you were looking forward to the Emi Sakura match. And he brings up Toni Storm and Skye Blue. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea they were wrestling. And I definitely had no idea it was going to be a Philly street fight.
Then what did I write?
That was going to be
it'll be a comedy match, but probably for all the wrong reasons.
Nostradamus there. The second match might be comedy wrestling and yet not intended to be. That was what you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John LaRocca said,
intended to be.
"Toni Storm and Skye Blue, we are in for some possible pro wrestling gold." Smiley face. This match. So Toni comes out. she's dressed in all black like she was right before she returned to being Timeless Toni Storm. It was that same outfit she wore with Mariah, which is funny because Mariah is now back to doing the Woman from Hell that she did right around that same time.
You know who Toni Storm looks kind of like in this outfit?
No.
ECW Jack Victory.
Probably by design. Because this was an ECW, well, it was supposed to be an ECW tribute match. So her hair was all down as well. It was all wet and like, down, and she had her makeup all smeared, looked like blood. And she had the Sandman's kendo stick that he had given her, because I think he did her podcast. Is that, or is it the other way around?
It's one of the two, but I know what you're talking about.
The two of them did a podcast together, and people thought Sandman was going to show up on this show, but Toni is never going to be able to buy the rights to enter Sandman. So
no, I mean, there were a few tributes I was kind of expecting that I know that people are mad at Joey Styles for some reason, but I would have loved to have seen him on this show.
Oh yeah.
Doing like a ring introduction or something like that. But
I'm sure he could have bought more Human Than Human for something for this show, but he didn't. So Skye came out with a candlestick as well, but Toni attacked her in the aisle. So let me see, what do we got here? There's all kinds of plunder in the ring. Toni's doing air guitar with a stop sign. She went for a hip attack. She missed it. Skye grabbed a stapler and stapled her ass. Taz calls it Staple Ass Jones. Fans chant "You sick fuck," and boy, did they chant that about 20 seconds too early, because then she stapled her tits, and then she stapled her vagina, and that got a 2 count. And Taz says, "I have so many lines to say, but I just can't." Brian Danielson said he was in physical revulsion.
Same.
Yeah, me too. Then Toni grabbed a stapler and stapled her ass. And I wrote down the crowd isn't even reacting to anything. Toni got them going by grabbing the stick and shaking it like she was the Ultimate Warrior. Fans started chanting Toni going into break. Taz said, "Give her a beer." And that's a Sandman reference. They come back from break. They're fighting on the barricade, and Skye fell off. And then she just got back up, and they headbutted each other, and they both fell crotch first onto the barricade. Then they traded punches like a New Japan Strong Style match. Fans are chanting yay and boo. Skye got the better of it, grabbed a sign that said "Generational Heartthrob Toni Schiavone," and she hit her with the sign, and then it turns out it had a metal like street like a traffic sign, it was wrapped around or whatever.
Yeah, the stop sign under the sign gimmick.
Which is an old ECW gimmick as well. Mm-hmm. Toni flipped her off the barricade. She landed on the floor face first. Then she grabbed a table that had rat traps on it. And there was another table that said, "I smell a rat, Toni Storm." She grabs cheese off the table. Fans are chanting for cheese. She eats it. She offers some to Brian Danielson. He refuses it. Then Excalibur grabbed it and ate
because he's vegan. See? Womp womp.
Yeah. Except he's not, as he's also said.
Right.
Anyways, so Toni put Skye's finger in a mouse trap, and that must have hurt. Then she put her on the apron. Skye fought back. Then she powerbombed Toni into the rat trap. Table doesn't break.
No.
I don't think any of the mouse traps even set off.
No.
Yeah, and so Toni tried to sell it like it did, but she's wearing all black, so you can't see anything anyways. It was such a waste. Then she rolled into the ring for 2. Then Brian Danielson has to point out that it hurts more when the table doesn't break.
Thank you.
Daniel, of all people, should not be knows better than this. Or Danielson, sorry. I apologize for fucking up his name so much. Then Skye got a chair, and of course the fans chanted, "We want cheese." Toni knocked her in the chair, hit her across the back with it a few times. Then she hit a DDT on Skye for 2. She grabbed an electric fly swatter and hit Skye on the bum and then on the head.
The selling on these 2 hits was worse than the chairs, the kendo sticks. She is screaming for her life, getting hit by this. I thought that's an electric fly swatter, you say?
That's what they called it.
I thought that was like a pickleball racket. Or
that's what I thought. Like because I'd never seen a pickleball racket, but I assumed that's what it would look like.
It's no, it doesn't. Pickleball paddle's kind of square.
Okay.
In a way.
Wow.
But this was.
Well, maybe it was on, and maybe
Skye Blue is screaming for her life, getting hit by whatever the hell this thing is.
Fernando loves Skye's performance in this match. So, Jeff loved it too, but for different reasons.
No. Fernando and Greg can go take a back seat because I said yesterday in my draft I would take Jasmine Nix over Skye Blue if I had a draft of talent at this point because they've been surpassed. This match was. I'm
not done. Toni hit her with a chair. Continue. She grabbed a big cardboard sign, put it in front of Skye. Then she hit her sweet cheek music and a Storm Zero on a chair and got the win. I gave it way too many stars because I didn't think this match was very good, but I gave it 3.25. I got to see what Cage Match rated is. Talk about this match.
I can't. I have PTSD from watching it.
Okay.
No, I don't. I just thought everything in this was terrible. I don't want this is a comedy match, and I don't want my women's champion in a comedy match.
And you normally love these women's matches.
I like abject stupidity. I do. I just don't want it in the championship area. Like if this was Willow and Skye Blue, I'd be howling at this.
Okay, there's another issue that you brought up, and I'm glad you mentioned it because I want to bring it up. Toni Storm is the world champion. She is doing she's doing a 4-way with Tekla, Chris
Jamie Hayter,
and Jamie Hayter. None of whom were in this match.
Not yet.
Well, no. But why?
Because the old booking trope taken from Stamford is you beat somebody in the stable to set up the match.
Right, like they did in the first match.
Yes.
And why was it a street fight? Because they're in Philly.
Because they're in Philly, you know?
Yeah.
Just like at Christmas, they're going to have that miracle.
No ratings yet for this match. Damn it.
Nor should there be.
Well, it's going to get some ratings.
We should take this off the scale of grading in every way.
They went 11 minutes and 43 seconds.
Was it about, I'll say, okay, Sam will be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, because there was, and then Alex Windsor and Mercedes got 9:42. So we had over 20 minutes of women's wrestling.
There you go.
Yeah.
Know your audience.
Greg thinks you're insane. So he loved this match too, I guess.
He loves Skye Blue. He didn't love this match. He's a fake.
I like Sam.
I love Greg, but Greg is out here simping. Don't give me that stuff.
Okay, here's the other thing. So why is it that you normally love these women's hardcore matches in AEW?
Because they go all out in it and it over delivers because it looks like they're actually killing each other because they possibly are. There's a certain
and when
amount
these
of
matches are over, like the women in the matches look like they've been in a hardcore.
Exactly. Yes.
When this match is over, I used to
call it the hot. What did I call it? The hot girl hardcore division or whatever. Yeah.
When this match was over, both women looked exactly the same as they did at the start of it.
Yes.
Skye Blue, like I don't even know if she sweat. Like she
glistened.
Maybe.
She don't sweat, they glisten. That's what
she looked exactly the same. And this is after an electric fly swatter, rat traps, tables, chairs, whatever else they did. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm glad they weren't really hurting each other, but I also want to feel like I just watched a hardcore match and not a comedy tribute match.
Exactly. And I wasn't taking a shot at Sam, by the way. No. Yeah,
no,
but I think Curry had thought I was.
She'll be happy. That's all. That's what we're glad that Sam will be happy. Yeah. No, that's why you said it. So after the match, she's attacked by Julia and Tekla, and Chris Statlander made the save, and then she gets attacked 2-on-1. Fans, rightfully so, they're paying attention to the storyline. They chant for Jamie Hayter. Out she comes, and her and Tekla are brawling. And then I wrote down, we're probably getting a 6-man match, a 6-woman match next week. It'll be the Triangle of Madness against Toni and 2 of the people she's fighting on the pay-per-view. It'll be Toni, Tekla, and Chris. Hater cleaned house, but then Julia Hart got her from behind, got the advantage on her. And then Tekla beat on Toni for a bit, does a spider thing, hit her with a spear, posed on top of her. And I'm like, great, I'm ready for this one-on-one match. Oh, wait. They did a great job of building a one-on-one match between Toni and Tekla after this. But that's not what we're getting.
Okay, everything from Julia getting into the brawl with Toni to Tekla wasn't my thing because it felt like wrestling moves as opposed to I would have much rather seen them brawling and taking them out, like the spider thing while Tony's like, I'm so loopy right now. I was just just kick stomp punch. That's all I need, man. Yeah, but this isn't even the worst part of any of this segment because I'm including the segment after this as part of this.
Oh,
so
Harley.
Continue.
Harley shows up with a guitar.
Uh-huh.
And sorry. Renee is interviewing Willow. Sorry, I gotta do this in order. And
yes.
She said, I always try to do my best, smile anyway. And if they don't get it, they should be punched in the face. And then she says, there's one person out there that can't get it through their skull. It's Marina Shafir. I want to fight you so bad, Marina. And I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. They're setting up a match. Who should show up but Harley Cameron? And she says, since you're such a lovely lady, pick a chord. And then Willow says, I don't know, G. And Harley says, C major it is. That was a good line. That was a good line. And then she said, she's singing. I'm not even going to try to sing, but the lyrics were, Statlander was a good person. She didn't mean to harm you. I'm here to charm you. It's been a while since you've been friends. If you join our team, I'll paint a cat on your face. And Willow likes that idea of getting a cat painted on her face, but not with Chris Statlander. I've been down this road before. We know how it ends. Says, watch your back. We know who she's really friends with. And then Renee finished singing the song with her. And they went, cat on your face.
Paul?
What?
What was happening in the ring right before this?
Tekla and Toni brawling.
What about Harley Cameron's tag team partner?
Chris Statlander? She was out there at some point. I don't know what happened to her. She disappeared.
So she's getting her ass beat, and we're in the back doing shtick.
Yes, she was tuning up her guitar.
Oh, she's Jeff Jarrett now? No, give me that. No,
literally tuning up her guitar.
No, that's yes, exactly.
So she can play it off key.
I hated this. Because as much as I love Harley and her comedic timing, it's like your tag team partner just went out there and got her ass beat. Why aren't you guys out there making the save or something?
Why isn't Willow in this 4-way?
Because we have to continue this Statlander feud somehow. So she's probably going to be involved in the end in some way.
I have a theory because Willow said here, we all know who Chris's real friends are. Right?
So she's the head of the turn, quote unquote, and then Chris is going to prove her wrong, and then we're all going to be friendly at the end.
No, her friend. Everyone assumes it's Moxley that she's talking about, right?
Yuta? Her?
Orange Cassidy.
Danhausen?
Best friends. Orange Cassidy. They were part of the best friends group.
Oh, God.
Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander and Wheeler. They're going to pull Wheeler out of this Death Rider.
And Trent's going to be back, and it's going to be, oh, my God.
Chuck Taylor managing them. God, okay, never mind. I want her in the Death Riders. The more
what do you call this? What do you call this stable? I call it box office poison.
No, they're best friends. They're best friends. No, they keep saying friends, and they keep emphasizing friends. So
yes. So okay, we're gonna have this reunion of a stable.
Oh, this would be good. Harley doing a tribute to New Jack with the dance guitar. I think that's what Toni was trying to do with the stop sign at the beginning of the street fight.
Yeah. Well, no. The stop sign is a Tommy Dreamer bit. I believe.
Oh, okay. I knew it was one of them, but it was the air guitar.
Against Raven, he'd always take this sign. It says, "Use my sign." He took the sign.
Transferring heat
Raven over the head.
16 months for this Willow Statlander thing. Yeah, it was May. That show we were at, May 2024. So whatever that is, May, June, July. Yeah, 16 months. Wow. We got collision matches. Oh God. So FTR against Adam Priest and Tommy Billington again, for some reason. It's funny because that was actually like, it's really the third week in a row, because the week before that we had FTR against Priest and JD Drake. So you just replaced JD Drake with Tommy Billington, and now we're doing it again. So like, whatever. We will learn the steps from Briscoe and MJF will appear. And then they announced out of nowhere, there's going to be a 3-way match at All Out for the unified title. Remember Toni saying that that the rules of the Continental title were going to apply from this point going forward for all unified title matches?
I heard that there's going to be a 10 count for tag team matches, Paul.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a 3-way, which can't be Continental rules because
exactly.
Yeah, but anyways, so they have 3 matches set up. On Collision, we're getting Kazuchika Okada against Michael Oku. So Kazuchika Okada has to win a qualifying match to get into a belt for the title he already has.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Konosuke Takeshita and Anthony Bowens, and the Beast Mortos and Mascara Dorada, which that match I think is next week on Dynamite. The other 2 are on Collision on Saturday. So
okay,
yeah. So yeah, looks like Collision's gonna be another good show on Saturday, but and they got a better audience this week. So, you know, they advertised a full show last week and people tuned in. Imagine that.
The Outrunners in Dalton Castle.
Oh my God.
Thank you. That's all we need. Continue.
Yeah. The brothers, the Outrunner brothers or whatever they call themselves. So then we got the Bucks being introduced, and I guess they were using the 2020 Dynamite music as their theme song, and they had mugshots with what were supposed to be their shoot names, although I have my doubts on the middle names. Matthew Ron John Massey and Nicholas Lee Massey. So like, I'm sure there's a lot of people watching that know their shoot names, but there's probably a lot more that don't. And this thing is beyond played. Like, but whatever, they're gonna keep doing it because somebody tweeted that it was funny. So, and we haven't talked about this. I don't know what your thoughts are. What do you think about these tweets on the screen?
Hate them. I mean, okay. It always feels like co-opted media to me when they do them. It's like people are trying to do.
You know they're real, right?
Oh, I know they're real. I just don't. I find them vapid. I think that's the big.
Well, that's the thing. So here,
me laugh, people.
I spent I gave my initial thoughts last week, and I had some time to think about it. And what it is okay. I see this in UFC as well. They put up like tweets, and it's usually match scores, but it's also, oh, that was a great finish. You know, this is an awesome crowd. Whatever. The difference is when UFC puts up tweets, they're from fighters and they're from reporters.
Right.
They're not from fans who are trying to get clout with other AEW fans.
Yeah, there's a difference between informational tweets and fluffing.
Yeah, I mean, you can put up something like, oh man, that match was 5 stars, or, you know, whatever, like something where you're excited. But these are like, please put my tweet on the screen. Like, yes, they might as well just have that on there, right?
Panda bears are coming out.
And you know, Lady B last week, who listens to the show and is occasionally in the chat, she got her tweet up there, and it was like, "In Hangman we trust." That was probably the best one I've seen, honestly.
That's
and I'm not just saying
I'll
that's Ladies B. Yeah, but the ones tonight were like, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, and then people start tweeting to try and get them on the screen, and then I start getting annoyed because they start putting more and more of them on there.
Yeah, because they did 3 segments with them this time. Last week it was 2. This time it's 3.
Okay, I started to not notice them after a while too. I just phased them out.
Yeah. Well, the other problem is they take up a good portion of the screen.
Yeah, they're in the lower. I mean, if they're in the lower left-hand corner, I can usually just get rid of them.
So, anyways, this led to the 10-man main event for $500K, which was the Bucks, Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. Keep in mind, this match was made this afternoon against the Opps and AEW World Tag Team Champions Brodido. And it's funny because people are asking, oh, is there going to be an AEW Tag Team title match on the pay-per-view? And every time I see that question, I say, it's going to be the Bucks and Brodido. It's going to be the Bucks and Brodido. And everything that has been, I think everything since the last pay-per-view has led to me thinking that it was going to be the Bucks and Brodido. They've been in these matches against each other constantly. And now they did it. And now we're going to get the match. So I mean, they didn't announce it, but I'm sure that's what's coming. But yeah, this was your AEW party match. It wasn't quite as good as some of them have been, in my opinion, but it's still excellent match. But again, the fans were kind of doing their own thing again. Like they really wanted to chant beef whenever they saw Brody and Hobbs, even though they're partners. And so they would do moves and the fans were chanting beef, beef, beef. You got a wrestler named Beef. Maybe chant meat next time. But anyways, yeah, so I'm trying to get to the interesting stuff here. Marina distracted the ref at one point, and then Yuta hit Hobbs with a chair, but he no-sold it. Fans chanted, "You fucked up." Then Hobbs tossed him around. This led to the spot where everybody does all their moves. And eventually Claudio tried to get Brody King in the giant swing, and thank God it didn't work. I love that because Claudio gets this on everybody, but he couldn't get it on Brody. So that was great. Then Joe came in, Mox DDT'd him, Spinebuster on Hobbs, by Hobbs on Mox. Wheeler got hit by a double super. What did I write here? The Bucks hit a double super kick on Shibata and Hobbs. Then they tried to hit it on Bandito, but they missed. Then Bandito hit a GTS on Nick. They called it something else, but it was a GTS. They went for a Meltzer driver. Bandito broke it up, and then Matt pinned Bandito with his foot on the ropes and with Nick holding his foot on the ropes. And Bryce Rensburg, the idiot, missed it, and they got the win. And then they immediately grabbed the bag of cash, which just happened to be at ringside this time. The only time.
Angry. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm angry they blew the physical comedy on this, and it's rare that I am this angry about such things.
Because they didn't get the money get thrown into the crowd?
Yes, that's the whole spot. That's the whole point of this thing. Be it Tully and JJ Dillon getting hit, and then the money, and they actually used real money for that. This was obviously fake money.
But I think the whole point here is that they got their money back, so now they're not going to be poor anymore.
No. The whole point was they get the money, and then they get punched, and they lose the money throwing it into the crowd.
That's what they should have done. I'm telling you, this is what they actually did. The reason they got the money.
No, they tried to do it. Because he threw one stack of money back, and it just flew as a stack as opposed to the visual of the dollar bills. So the story next week is we lost the money because Bandito was fighting us, and we lost it somewhere in there.
So they're going to retcon us and claim that money all disappeared?
Oh, no. They're going to say that's not a retcon, because they're going to say that throwing that first stack of bills constitutes all the money being thrown.
That's what I mean. Where's the rest of it?
Exactly. But
they are retconning us if they say they lost all their money.
Well, they got to retcon a lot of things, because I don't think they're going to mention that Hook didn't come out to help save the Opps on this one either. So
and then Jason says the next logical step is they get their tag title match because of that.
Yes.
So after the match, as you mentioned, Brody chopping from behind, money went flying, but very little of it. Then they brawled to the back. So then we're left with Mox, Claudio, and Wheeler beating on Shibata, then Joe, then Hobbs. And then Marina joined in. So now it's 4-on-1. They're all beating on Hobbs. And Darby Allin's music hit. And he hauled ass to the ring. And like faster than I've ever seen anyone make a save.
It was awesome.
Yeah. And he jumped on Mox's back immediately. And then Shibata and Joe were back. And now the odds are even. And Darby's choking him. And then he hit a missile drop kick on him. And then he gets attacked from behind by a man in a hoodie. And I assumed it was Gabe Kidd, because it's always Gabe Kidd. But no, Gabe Kidd's in Japan. So this time it's Daniel Garcia. And fans chanted asshole, and they chanted you sold out. So I don't know. Somebody earlier said it had no heat, but I guess I wrote down it seemed to get a lot of heat. But
it got the chance it was supposed to. But I agree with one Zach Haydorn that Daniel Garcia wasn't doing a great job of selling this term, because they probably told him, look stone-faced and psychopathic or whatever, and instead he looked bored.
You know what they told him? They told him, be Red Death Daniel Garcia.
Yes.
Who the fuck is Red Death Daniel Garcia? I don't know, but he does. He's trying to remember, what was I doing in 2019? Oh yeah,
I needed sadistic Daniel Garcia here, like looking to put a beating on somebody and enjoying it, as opposed to, oh, I'm stone-faced killer. Daniel, I'm stone face, no personality, Daniel Garcia, which is different than baby face, stone face, no personality, Daniel Garcia. And then they blew the first chair spot on this too.
Oh my God. So he goes to curb stomp him into the chair and he's right on top of the chair. And then he curb stomps him off the chair. And I think he was trying to be safe, but the camera was like right there and shot it. And then I think Moxley whispered in his ear and said, "Do it again," because that looked like shit.
I think Darby yelled at him to do it again.
So they did it again this time, put him in. Meanwhile, like he's just there and then Marina had to pull him off, even though he wasn't doing anything.
And, you're too psychotic, stone face, no personality, Daniel Garcia. I must pull you off now.
I'm sorry. You know what? If you've listened to this show for any length of time, you'll know Daniel Garcia for the longest time was one of my favorites. I loved watching the guy wrestle. When he joined the Jericho Appreciation Society, I was not happy because I had a feeling. We both
said it was a mistake. We
said he should have gone with the Blackpool Combat Club at the time.
Right.
And Wheeler should have gone with the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yes, to get some personality.
Right. And instead they did it the other way around. And Wheeler probably got better because of it. And Daniel, at one point, he beat Bryan Danielson. Bryan effing Danielson. Daniel Garcia beat him on Dynamite in one of the best matches of 2022, I think it was. 3.5 years ago. And here we are, and I don't care.
And we're rebooting him.
He was a TNT champion not that long ago. He had that feud with MJF where MJF made him look like a punk. And he was the hottest free agent in wrestling. And he chose to come back to WWE or to AEW. He should have gone to WWE. No, I don't even know if that's true.
You don't need to change his hair or anything, but please change his gear so that there's a different gimmick in this as opposed to Timu Dean Malenko. We
were trying to place Josh Alexander in the Callis family. Where is Garcia in the Death Riders? Mox is ahead of him. Claudio's ahead of him.
Pac is still a Death Rider, right?
I think he might be behind Wheeler.
He might be behind some person they mentioned in a promo once. I don't know. He might be behind Regal at this point in the Death Riders.
What about Gabe Kidd?
Gabe Kidd's a mercenary.
So he's ahead of Garcia.
At least he didn't show up tonight.
I think he's just taking the place of Gabe Kidd because Gabe Kidd's in Japan. And then when he comes back, we're going to get playing the role of Daniel Garcia, Gabe Kidd. Like the Marina's ahead of him.
What's your best Cockney accent there, Daniel? Oi!
He looks like him and Gabe look like they could be siblings, honestly. I was slightly underwhelmed with this heel turn by Daniel Garcia that nobody wanted.
Most obvious heel turn we've been working at for the last year.
Now, to be fair, I believe that Jon Moxley really likes Daniel Garcia and he's going to try to get this guy over. But
we'll see what his instincts are.
Dolph Ziggler, I mean, if you say so, I think he's way behind Dolph Ziggler. But he says he's been there so long.
Has some personality occasionally. His personality is bad, but at least he has.
He's probably maybe at like more like Shelton Benjamin level in as to where he was in WWE.
No, he's whatever. I mean, maybe Lance
Kofi before Kofi Mania, maybe, or before New Day. Kofi
he's that guy that on commentary they go, he's the best technical wrestler in the world, and you watch him and you go, yeah, but he's dull.
Oh, Dean Malenko.
He's WWF Dean Malenko.
Yeah. Jerry Lynn.
Ladies man.
Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn. There's a good one.
Oh,
yeah.
Did you catch Jerry Lynn giving Anthony Bowen's advice about how to get up the card? How old is that one? It's like, yeah.
Jake the Milkman Milliman will be next to tell you how to get over.
So yeah, Danny would be better with Edge. Yeah, like they
no with an Edge, not with Edge.
I'm like with an edge, like, oh, hey,
she just accidentally capitalized it because I think she's probably on her phone or something and just autocorrects like that.
Or no, because she probably types edge a lot, so it just automatically autocorrects.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Well, that was it. So we got next week. We got one match for next week. It's Beast Mordos and Moscow Dorado.
I'm here for that. Beast
that'll
Mordos
be the go home show for All Out, and we'll preview All Out next week, and we'll talk about whatever happened in the week. So Jeff, get your pluggies in.
Shake them ropes this week. Any news that breaks in the next couple days? You want a party match? We're going to take you back because WrestlePalooza is coming up in WWE, but going to go to the first WrestlePalooza in ECW 1995. Ships crossing in the night. Party matches are supposed to be weird conglomerations that you'd never see ever before. And in this one, we got one. It's Too Cold Scorpio, Dean Malenko, and Cactus Jack versus the Steiners and Eddie Guerrero.
Oh my!
How's that for because half this crew is on their way to WWF, and the other half is on their way to WCW. It's very, very odd, but yes, that's what we'll be watching for Vader Club this week.
The very first WrestlePalooza, you said, right?
I don't know if it's the first. It might be the second one, but it's WrestlePalooza 1995.
Okay, no, they went on. Yeah, okay, yeah, 95. Okay. And yeah, for me, I'll be back on Monday with Garrett Gonzalez with the Takedown, which is our new show where we talk about the news of the weekend and give our hot takes. And then Jeff and I'll be back next week for the Dynamite Show in our usual time and time slot. And I'm actually going to try to watch All Out this year, like close to on time. So maybe I'll even do an appearance on the post game show, but we'll see.
Who's doing the post game?
No idea. Probably Jeremy and Garrett. So for Jeff, I've been Paul Fontaine, and this has been the Dynamite Show.